Today, let me ask you a question. As you look to your life ahead, would you choose a quality of life or quantity of life? Imagine with me that a magic genie has appeared and given you two choices. The first choice is a guarantee that you will live to 100 years old, but with no guarantee of how healthy you will be for those years. The second choice is no guarantee of how long you live. You might live 5 more years, 10 more years, or 20. But you will have a guarantee that you will live a healthy, functional life until your very last days. Take a look at these two ladies. They both have quantity, but only one has a high quality of life. What makes the difference between the two? How does one person end up in the nursing home and another ends up fit and healthy living in their own home? How is it that 79-year-old Harriet Anderson can run in the Ironman triathlon, a 2.4-mile swim, a 112-mile bike ride, and a marathon that is 26.2 miles long? How is it that a man like Banana George Blair here can still water ski at the age of 98, barefooted? Let me ask you a few questions. What are some types of things that you need to do in your life right now that you will need to be able to keep doing as you get older? What types of things do you like to do in your life right now that you would like to continue doing as you get older? What types of things do you want to do or would love to do? Maybe something you've always wanted to do but never could because you were too busy raising a family or building your career or didn't have the money, and now you have the time and the money. Maybe something you used to enjoy doing, but you've given it up because you've gotten older. Maybe you want to travel to the Galapagos Islands like Joanne Bloodgood, an 80-year-old female with early stage Parkinson's disease. Her husband had the opportunity to visit the Galapagos Islands, and so of course she wanted to go with him. However, Joanne needed to be able to walk a mile outdoors, not overly rugged terrain, but not paved sidewalks either, and she couldn't do that. Or maybe you'd like to do something like Dr. Tom Summers. He hiked the 20,000-foot peak in Africa and enjoyed an amazing summit experience with his daughter in his late 50s. We ensure functional longevity to maintain our ability to do what we need to do, what we want to do, and what we like to do as late in life as possible. Quality plus quantity equals functional longevity. But before we get into how we achieve functional longevity, you need first to understand how possible it is to be healthy, robust, energetic, vibrant, and functional well into your 80s, 90s, and even 100s. You need to have the right mindset before you can truly understand. Mindset number 1, aging isn't the bad guy. To blame the aging process for a lot of negative things that have occurred to people as they've gotten older may be true. Things like reduced visual acuity, poor hearing, wrinkles, and gray hair. Most are not true though. Primary aging is what we also call biological aging. It is the aging process common to all living creatures, referred to as senescence. Every living creature is born, matures, peaks, declines, and then dies. It is the inevitable cycle of life that doesn't stop. Secondary aging is what we also call lifestyle aging. It is the aging process that is secondary to our lifestyle choices: nutrition, physical activity, stress, and our environment. Extensive studies of astronauts and master athletes have made it very clear that most of the negative aspects associated with the aging process are due to secondary and not primary aging. Let me say that again. Poor health, chronic disease, functional decline, poor strength, falls, lagging libido, fatigue, I could go on, are mostly due to your lifestyle rather than your biological age. The problem is not that you are 60 or 70 or 80. The problem is that for 30, 40, or 50 years, you've been less active than you needed to be. You've chosen foods and meals that just weren't healthy enough. 50 years of eating ice cream while sitting on the couch watching TV adds up. It's called the accumulation effect. Aging doesn't have to mean any of these things. These are stereotypes of aging, gross caricatures. They are only true if you allow them to be. Do you want to be old? Do you want to be frail? How about senile, tired, or boring? Of course not. As we get older, what if we start thinking about the amazing possibilities for our life? Does anyone have grandchildren? Who has 2 or more? Who has 4 or more? Congratulations! Give yourself a round of applause. You get to have grandchildren because you got older. It is awfully difficult to have grandkids when you're only 20 or 30. And even if you could, you really wouldn't appreciate them as you do now. Mindset number 2. Old isn't a number. How old would you be if you didn't know how old you were? Let me ask you, at what age does someone become old? Would it shock you to find out that many young adults in their 20s and 30s think 50 is old? What do you think about that? Have you found that the age you consider old keeps moving? I bet that when those 20-year-olds turn 50, it won't seem so old anymore. When they turn 65, their concept of old will change even more, and when they turn 80, they might not think old is even a possibility anymore. Old isn't a number. It is a state of mind. If you look at yourself as old, then you will be. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Ever heard the phrase, you don't stop playing because you get old? You get old because you stop playing. Mindset number 3. We are responsible for how we age. Genetics only accounts for about 1/4 of our longevity. In certain groups, such as the supercentenarians, those that live over 110 years old, genetics seems to play a much bigger role. You either have the super longevity genes or you don't. But for the rest of us, the overwhelming majority, our genetics only makes up a fraction of how long we live and how well we age. The rest, they say, is up to you. Does the woman on the left, Ernestine Shepard, have better genes than the woman on the right? No. But what she does have is a history of regular exercise. Ernestine Shepard holds the Guinness World Record for the world's oldest competitive female bodybuilder. She made a point of taking charge of her life through a daily routine of calisthenics, weightlifting, jogging. She runs 10 miles most mornings at 4 a.m., prayer, and healthy eating. The most interesting part of her story is that Ernestine never exercised until the age of 56. She was, quote, too prissy as a girl to engage in exercise and athletics. Ernestine is now 79 and still going strong, and her famous quote is, age is nothing but a number. It's never too early to start exercising, and it is never too late to start exercising either. Doing so can dramatically alter your aging trajectory. Because people age so differently, we recognize that older adults fall into a broad range of functional categories that disconnect to their chronological age. You have 80-year-olds competing in athletic events, playing sports, and trekking the world. And you have 60-year-olds that struggle with activities of daily living. Chronological age is not the issue. Functional age is. Everyone goes through a similar cycle of growth in early life, and then we all peak somewhere in our 30s. After this, it is a rather slow and steady decline as we get older. However, not everyone ages at the same rate. we see huge differences in how people age, so that by the time we get to our 50s and 60s, there is a huge range of functional abilities. Some people see the orange line, head down a path to disease, disability, and early death. They will likely need care during the last 5 to 10 years of their life. Others, though, see the blue line, are on a path that will keep them healthy and functional for as long as possible. These people will one day die, as we all will, but they will be able to do all or most of the things they want to until very close to the end of their life. Maybe they are sick for a week or two before they pass. Maybe they go to sleep one night and don't wake up. Dramatically shortening the time at the end of our life where we are sick and need care is what we call compression of disability. Look at this graph. Where do you see yourself now? Where would you like to see yourself for the long haul? Remember mindset number 3? We are responsible for how we age. And so we come full circle back to the question, how do we ensure functional longevity? How do we protect ourselves from the declines of old age? It is almost a given that someone will say walking and someone else will say strength training. Walking is often touted by health experts as the best exercise for older adults, but that is a myth, and this is why. There are numerous reasons it is considered to be so good. It is free, accessible to everyone, most people can do it safely, no special equipment needed, and no special training. But is it effective? For most people, no, for 2 primary reasons. 1, walking is too easy, and 2, it only really helps with your cardiorespiratory system. If you said strength training, then you're certainly getting a little closer. Aging can cause muscle mass and strength to decline, which can then lead to difficulties in performing many activities such as climbing stairs, getting out of a chair, or anything involving manual labor. However, the type of strength training you do is very important. Traditional weightlifting, like you see here in this picture, where you try to work on a single muscle at a time, is great for improving muscle strength. You've probably seen many different types of weightlifting machines traditional gyms like to use. But this type of strength training also has some very serious limitations. Mainly, it doesn't match how our muscles work, which is in complex coordination with lots of other muscles. Rarely do they work all alone in isolation. Now, if you were to start a daily walking program and engage in traditional style weightlifting 2 to 3 days per week, would it benefit you? Absolutely. You would definitely see some improvements for sure. But would it give you the very best results? Would it significantly affect your aging trajectory? Would it ensure your functional longevity? Probably not, and here's why. The ability to move and groove is complicated. Physical movement relies on lots of systems working together efficiently and accurately. When we consider all of the important factors that allow us to throw the grandkids into the air, swing a golf club, catch ourselves from falling when we trip, or any task you can think of, you realize that just focusing on only 2 of these will limit the potential for improvement. Strength and aerobic fitness are important, but so is balance. So is agility, so is our mental acuity, and so is coordination. All of these factors tend to decline as we get older, especially so if we are inactive as we age. The physical movements that include a lot of systems working together efficiently and accurately are the science behind the functional aging training model that we use in the YPB Training Studio programming. Did you know that muscle power is a much better predictor of functional ability than muscle strength? And that power training is more effective than strength training for improving functional ability? It's true, yet you hardly ever find anyone recommending power exercises for an older adult. At Your Personal Best Training Studio, we automatically incorporate speed and power movement safely into the exercise routines because we know how effective it is. It's probably one of the greatest fears facing the over 60 population. But this disease is a disease. It is not a normal part of aging. And the way to protect yourself against it is to stimulate your body and brain through regular exercise. When you train with a functional aging specialist, you will not only get a great physical workout, but you will also be building new neural pathways toward better mental acuity and less risk for the disease. Where functional training meets the physiology of aging. The functional aging training model takes functional training philosophies, strategies, and techniques and applies them specifically to meet the needs and wants of mature adults. Our functional aging specialists have all completed specialized training in how to deliver safe and effective functional exercise programs for mature adults of all ages and all abilities, from the frail to the athletic. At YPB, we will take care of you. We have the expertise to help improve your abilities and improve your life. Our unique small group personal training program is a blend of functional strength, balance, agility, coordination, and brain health movements with your safety of our utmost concern. A complimentary functional fitness assessment allows us to personalize your program. Most people fit in with one of our small groups of 4 to 8 people focused on your needs, likes, wants in a relaxed atmosphere. I want to offer some gifts to you to let you know how much I appreciate sharing with you today my passion on the topic of how do we ensure functional longevity. I hope that I've been able to provide you with some knowledge that will help you change your current trajectory of aging and help you live the next 20 or 30 or 40 years with an amazing amount of energy and excitement. I'd also love to give you a copy of the book I wrote on this subject. If you want to learn more about my aging clients and what we've done with them, all you have to do is let us know you would like a copy. In exchange for your email address, I will send you a free copy of this Ageless Fitness Report with practical strategies to make your next 50 years better than the first. And I would also like to give you access to my exclusive fitness e-newsletter for a mature and actively aging population. For more information and to get to know us better, here's the address to my website, our phone number, email address, and access to our Facebook page. Thank you.